Hey my loves, so today I have another holiday review and tutorial for you, a holiday set review and tutorial for you. This is the new Too Faced Le Grand Palace set, and here comes a palette and a few other little bonus items. This retails for $58 and I believe it will be a Sephora exclusive. I say that because there's like a little Sephora bag on the inside of the packaging. Here's what the box looks like. It's so freaking pretty, and I really like that the inner box kind of resembles it, but here's the outside cardboard casing, and on the back it has a really nice overview of what all is in the kit. You get 18 shadows, 4 cheek products, 2 blushes, a highlight, and a bronzer. You get a mini lipstick, a melted liquid lipstick I might add, and it's a great size, a Too Faced shadow insurance, as well as the Better Than Sex mascara. I'm sure a lot of you are dying to see what's inside, so you can see here the little top just comes off like so, and then you open it up to reveal the holiday set. I think this is the cutest packaging. It does feel quite sturdy. I think that I will leave this out on display in my beauty room because I love the scene that they have going on in the background. You can see there's like Sephora bags on the floor, which is why I believe this is a Sephora exclusive. You also have like this pretty little black dress, like a scene of Paris, a staircase over here. It's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Too Faced has amazing packaging. As much as I do love the packaging, I love even more that the palette does come out, so it is obviously less bulky than taking this around everywhere. So we'll start off with the eyeshadow slash blush palette. I think again the cardboard packaging is really nice. It does feel quite sturdy. On the inside you've got again that scene of Paris, and the packaging is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then here it is in all of its glory. So I'm gonna get into swatches in a moment here, but kind of at a first glance you've got a lot of neutrals. I kind of wanted to play out of the box. I mean, it's still a pretty neutral look, so I did a look with this olive color that you will see when the review portion is over. Not too terribly many mattes, and the main matte colors are the most neutral ones, like these matte browns, really good for the crease. Matte highlights, and I like that there are 2 different options here. You also do have a matte black and a matte like really dark brown over here, but other than that you've got a lot of shimmer, a lot of glitter. You have a cool tone and a warm tone blush. I think that's a really nice inclusion. You've got a highlight that is not too overly shimmery but still really gets the job done, and you've got the Sun Bunny bronzer, which does have a bit of a sheen, but I used it for a little bit of contour today and I think it turned out gorgeous. I'm just gonna smack this around. Now clearly I'll go more in depth, but let's kind of go into the little bonus items up here. So the first thing that we have is the Too Faced shadow insurance. I feel like you get so many of these little primers with the holiday sets and whatnot, and my one gripe about this is that the colors in this palette are so primarily glittery and shimmery. I think they would have done better with their glitter glue, which is a much tackier and thicker base. The shadows were having a really hard time adhering to the eye. I feel like I didn't really get to play with them to their true like full potential, especially those shimmers. So if I was going to change anything about it, it would be that this would probably be the glitter glue instead. You can get glitter glue on its own, and this did get the job done. I think glitter glue would have been a slightly less painful process. You get a melted longwear liquefied liquid lipstick in the shade Melted Peony. I like this, and I think that it pairs well with the neutral shades in this palette, and I tried to wear it with this look, but it was not happening. It's a nice size, it's a pretty color, and I think that it's a little bit more on the fun side. Again, it will pair so beautifully with those like nice warm neutrals, but for the darker shades and the pops of color, I just don't see this working. It's a little bit too bubblegum bright. The last thing in here is a mini Better Than Sex mascara just to coat the lashes. I didn't use it today because I have so many mascaras open right now, but you know how it goes. These are just nice for travel. All right, so I'm gonna get into swatching the palette and this lippy, and then I'll be right back for a few closing thoughts. All right, so starting off at the top, we have the shade White Chocolate, which is just a matte light white bone color. Satin Sheets, I do have it in a different palette, and I love this shade. It's like a really cool peachy pink with a nice strong gold undertone and like a duochrome. The last color here is Vintage Lace, which is a matte kind of creamy yellow. Starting here we have White Chocolate, we have Satin Sheets, which again, really cool duochrome on that. And you can barely see it because it blends in so well with my skin tone, but up here is the shade Vintage Lace. All right, so Delightful is a shimmery baby pink. Moon on Their Wings is a pretty like bronzy taupe. Cobblestone is the closest thing to a neutral brown in this palette. It is kind of more on the warm side than anything, but it's closer to neutral than over here, which is City Lights. And we have Dreamlight, which is a really pretty, like purple toned shimmery brown. Delightful is really nice and pigmented. Moon on Their Wings was actually a color I used on the inner corner and I totally forgot. It's more of a white gold when it's swatched. I don't know know why I thought it was darker. We have, again, Cobblestone. This is the shade City Lights, and Dreamlight up here. We have a nice glittery silver called String of Lights. Yule Log is a brown with gold shimmer. Wishlist is a true warm toned gold. Arc de Triomphe is a nice light taupe. Belle Femme is a cool toned matte brown. All right, so String of Lights, not the best pigmentation on that one. You would need a really sticky base or a paint pot underneath to make that work. Yule Log, Wishlist, Arc de Triomphe, and Belle Femme right here. Last row, we have Stiletto, which is a matte black. Eiffel, which is an olive green with strong, strong gold shimmer. It's almost a glittery shadow. This next one is like a glitter in a pan. I don't really know what else to call it. It's called Midnight in Paris. It's a really pretty blue. Champs-Élysées, I think. Somebody in London told me how to pronounce this, and I still don't think I'm pronouncing it right. This is a purple, but it has a really strong black base, and Party Dress, which is a hot, hot pink. Stiletto, Eiffel, Midnight in Paris is really sheer. I think it really does need a base or something. You would have to put a blue base. This is the only color in the palette I was really disappointed in. But I think you could work with it. It just would need an actual base. I just think it's glitter. Champs-Élysées, I still don't think I'm saying that right. And Party Dress. Base products are Stardust Blush, which is a warm coral, but I don't think it's too corally where it's oh, that's a spring blush. I think it adds some warmth to the face, but it's not over the top. We have a nice cool tone pink called Skyline. Flush Illuminizer is a really pretty shade. It's not too chunky, which is nice. It's actually a very finely milled, moonlight white gold color. And then lastly, we have Sun Bunny Bronzer, which is a nice warm bronze, but it does have gold shimmer throughout. So Stardust, Skyline, Flush, Sun Bunny up here, and as you can see, once you have that blended out really nicely, the shimmer isn't too noticeable. Again, I used it to contour, but I didn't feel like it was over the top. And then down here, we have the Too Faced Melted Liquefied Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the shade Melted Peony. I think this palette is fun. I really like the amount of color that's in it. I think that the neutral pops make it a lot more wearable. I'm not really someone who adventures out of their comfort zone as far as neutrals go, and olive is not even something I've ever played with before, but I found that the shadows all played together so nicely that it was not difficult to achieve this look. You know, this shade that I used on the lid, beautiful, so chunky and glittery though, and even using it with a bit of Fix Plus did not do the trick. You will see in the tutorial, it did not work. I think the whole set would have done better with a mini glitter glue. Like I said, I think that would have changed the game, and this would have been my top rated collection because I think it is so versatile. There's a ton of pigment in here. I really enjoy the palette, and in my book, again, it would get maybe an A-, B+, just because I think they could have done a little bit better with the coordination of the minis. I just think that this could have been a more easy to wear neutral shade to go with everything. As I said in my Vice 4 review, I will let you know if the shadows wear at all or if I have trouble with them fading, but I highly doubt that's going to happen because Too Faced has amazing quality shadows and products. So I think that's really it. I know this was kind of short and sweet. I'm really happy with the entire palette. I know I didn't really even talk about the face products in here, but that's just because I feel like they kind of blend in. They went really easily with the look that I'm wearing. Not too pigmented, not too powdery. They all just work well. Too Faced does really well in the face powder department, at least in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the look, and I hope you all enjoy. All right, so getting started, we are going to delve into the eyeshadow and blush, and this is just kind of like a smorgasbord, isn't it? You've got a little bit of everything. I did think the camera was recording, and it was not. I took a little baby bit of Sun Bunny bronzer down here and just lightly contoured my cheeks. I do have a separate bronzer on, and I just blended under that with a bit of face powder and a kabuki brush. I felt like it was really pigmented, really easy to blend, kind of standard for a bronzer, so I'm sorry I didn't get that on camera, but we're actually gonna move into shadows, and my lids are already primed, and I'm really, really, really digging this olivey shade right here. What is this called? I think it's called Eiffel, so I think the whole look will be based off of that bad boy. So first, using a fluffy brush, I'm going to go into the shade Cobblestone, which is a nice neutral matte brown. And I'm just going to work this into the crease. It's a really pretty shade. It's kind of a little bit more warm than I was expecting, but that's quite all right. It blends super easily. All right, so now we're going to go into the color Eiffel. I think what I'll do is first just wet the brush using a bit of Fix Plus, and I'll just start to pack this onto the lid. Probably wouldn't have done my foundation first had I thought this through a little bit better. I actually much prefer the way that it's going on dry, so I'm just going to pack this all over my eyelid, and it's a little bit sheer, but we'll just kind of build it up. Definitely a little bit of fallout, but nothing you can't just brush away. So a little bit of effort in that, but it is a really pretty color and I quite like the look so far. I'm going to take the color City Lights, which is a warm chocolatey brown. And on a pencil brush, I'm just going to bring this in to the crease. Then, especially right here in the outermost corner, I'm going to take that olivey shade again. I'm going to take the color Yule Log, and I was between Yule Log and the color Belle Femme, but Yule Log just kind of has a bit of golden sheen that ties in with that olive. And on the same brush, I'm just taking a little bit of that. Going to bring this along the lash line, and whatever is left, bring that into the crease. And this shade has a ton of fallout. Then take your favorite blending brush and blend until your hands feel like they may fall off. Hashtag if there's no carpal tunnel, you're not doing it right. I'm going to take a touch of white chocolate, which is a nice matte bone white color, and I'm just going to use this to highlight the brow bone. Alright, so on the lower lash line, we're going to start off with Cobblestone, and just on a pencil brush, this one is from BH Cosmetics, it is their 105 brush. I'm just going to smudge that right down here. I'm going to take a baby bit of Eiffel and just lightly smudge that on this lower lash line as well. And I won't be bringing this color very far in. And then on the very outer corner, I'm going to take Yule Log. Just place that right out here to give this a nice dark smudgy effect. I went ahead and blended that out a bit, and again, these colors do blend really well. Now I'm going to take the shade Wish List, and I'm going to kind of dab this together with this champagne color up here, which is called Moon on Their Wings. And I'm going to dab this on the inner corner of the eye, because I don't want a really dark gold, but I feel like Moon on Their Wings is a little bit too champagne. Just so that my falsies will blend with my real lashes, I'm going to form a relatively thin line on the upper lash line. I'm kind of feeling like the transition between gold and olive on my lid isn't quite seamless enough, so I'm just going to take a little bit of Cobblestone, and I'm just going to dab this right between them, and you really won't even be able to tell it's there. It will just help to blend things a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the rest of the face for a moment. First, I'm going to take the blush in the color Stardust. I will say it's quite terrifying that this pan is so close to a black eyeshadow, and I'm being very delicate. And it's a really pretty color, so it kind of is nice and warm and complements the eyes as well. Now I'm going to take the color Flush, and this is kind of a light white gold highlight. It's not too metallic, which is quite okay. Sometimes you want something a bit more natural, and I think that the average consumer doesn't highlight the way that a lot of YouTube beauty gurus do, but we can't help it. We love our highlights. And in our defense, they look beautiful on camera. I'm gonna really quickly set up my brows with just a baby bit of clear brow gel. To set the face and just make the makeup look a little bit more natural, I'm going to start off with MAC's Fix Plus and follow up with Urban Decay All Nighter. So I just added a little bit of MAC's Costa Riche to my waterline and upper tight line. It's just a really nice bronzy brown color that I'm obsessed with. And now I've gone ahead and curled my lashes, and I'm just going to apply a few coats of mascara. The falsies I'm going to be using today are super voluminous and thick, so I want to make sure my real lashes blend in really seamlessly. You can also put a little bit of mascara on the backs of the lashes. This takes a little bit of getting used to, but it does make them darker and less noticeable. So the lashes I'm going to be using today are the Vegas Nay Grand Glamour lashes, and I've just trimmed these down so that they're not massive on me. And you can obviously see the difference that these make. They are huge, and I love them so much. They're really inexpensive for how like mink lashy they look, and also I've worn these like 7 times now, and they're still going strong. So I put a baby bit of mascara on the lower lashes as well, and now I'm going to define the lips, and I'm just using a Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. So now we'll just delve into this beauty, and we're going to take out the Melted Liquid Lipstick. This is in the shade Melted Peony. Okay guys, as much as I really wanted to stick to this kit, I really don't like the way that this lippy looks with this look. I tried to, I don't. So I'm actually going in with a much more berry tone shade. This is Raspberry Pie from Revlon. It's just a really nice like berry tone, and I quite like the way that it looks with the eyes, even though it's a little bit on the dark side. I just think it's really wearable. I think Raspberry Pie is super fun, and I think it looked pretty with this, but I also wanted to show you what it would look like with a really nice plummy neutral. I think I prefer this, but I wanted to give you both options. The lippy I used is NARS's Anita, and I absolutely love this. That's it for me. I'm sorry for the like million lip changes here at the end. I was having a lot of trouble deciding what to wear. I actually wanted to wear Revlon Berry Smoothie to begin with, and I couldn't find it, so I grabbed Raspberry Pie. It was a whole thing, but I hope you enjoyed this sort of review and tutorial all in one, and if you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already, and until next time, my loves, I will see you very soon. Bye!